Hello, my friends. Welcome back. My name is Jim, and this is the Lake Effect Gardener. And so today's video is going to be all about the garden tour, my first official garden tour video. And yes, I did a garden tour video when I first started filming this channel a couple of weeks ago, but that was kind of like, hey guys, this is what I'm growing. Ta-da! This tour today is going to be showing you my progress. So that's what we're going to do today. I have to say it is already really stinking hot. It's 10:30 in the morning and it's already like, it's very muggy and it's very, very hot. It's been like this all week. I looked at the forecast. It's going to continue being like this. When I reflect on that for a moment, I have to kind of remind myself and pinch myself and say, you know what? You wait for this weather all year. So don't complain about it, because it could be 6 feet of lake effect snow. It could be sub-zero temperatures. It could be a blistering, like blood-curdling, freezing cold wind. So, gotta look on the bright side. So anyways, I filmed this footage much earlier in the day when it was much, much cooler. Very, very pleasant. The sun was just dappled through the shade, and the bugs weren't out as much as they are in the evening. Really the perfect time to do it. Ironically enough, I'm sitting here with my nice hot cup of tea while I, sweat up a storm, but, there are things in life that you just can't give up. So yes, plot tour, garden tour. That's what we're going to do. I'm just going to send out a quick shout out to my friend John. Today is his birthday, so happy birthday, John. Hope you have a great day. And now we head out to the garden. But before we do that, as I was coming out to my shed, I opened up the shed door and I had a little bit of a visitor inside my shed. It's not what you think. So I just opened up my shed and... Oh, hello, Mr. Snake. I don't know what kind of snake you are, but I hope it's the kind that eats things that like to eat my food. Huh. Well, you're not going to do any good in the shed, so we need to get you out of here. Let me see here. Come on. That's it. You got it. Okay. Bye. So that was a first, right? Not what I expect opening the door. Maybe a mouse, maybe a spider, maybe ants, maybe, I don't know, mosquito. But a snake? Oh well, you know what? They're very beneficial for the garden, so, live and let live. Go do your thing. All right, enough of my blabbering. Let's get into the garden. All right, I'm gonna start at the top of the garden. So this is kind of being the opposite direction that I had given the other tour in. And we're gonna start right here with the pumpkin patch, which you can see has grown quite a bit since the last time I filmed this. And this always does really, really well. Remember, this is the Rouge Vif de Teint variety. And I think, if we just take a look down here, look at that. Beauteous. Oh, I can't wait. I cannot wait. They're gonna be gorgeous. All right, so we're moving on to the brassica bed. And again, everything has really put on a really decent amount of growth. Okay, especially my Swiss chard. Look at that, it's getting huge. Oh, I'm so pleased. And my Brussels sprouts are getting a little bit bigger, which I'm happy about. They usually stay pretty tiddly. I haven't had a lot of luck with them. So fingers crossed. Broccoli's getting bigger, which is lovely. I'm just gonna climb over the fence. And the cauliflower is getting bigger. And here's my red cabbage, getting big and blousy. Very happy about that. My lettuce over here is starting to do a little bit of bolting. So I'm gonna get those up and have them for a meal. And I have some more seedlings that I'd like to plant on as well. My sorrel has put on a lot of growth too. And then this is the lacinato kale, so that's your calabonero or your Nero de Toscana, okay. And yes, I left the spinach in. I figure if I can't get a crop of leaves, at least I can maybe get a crop of seeds, if anything. I think that's the only reason why I grow it lately, is because I get seeds. Hi, here's my shadow. The rutabagas are getting really big. And my beetroot is just a little bit tiddly still. I don't know. It's getting watered regularly. I don't know, I'm gonna have to thin them out anyhow. Okay, so, my tomatoes. Oh my goodness, look how lovely my tomatoes are. Crazy, they're getting so big. I have to tie them up again. I just tied them up. But they're, starting to really create these gorgeous trusses. They're gonna be just filled with fruit, and this is the porter variety. Okay. Moving slowly, moving slowly. All of my basil is starting to get really, really big around the perimeter. And actually, I forgot to show you over here, my carrots are getting really big. Really big. I'm so excited about that. Okay. And once again, this is the Italian, the Consolutto Genovese, and that's starting to put on some beautiful fruit. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. And then this is the Arkansas Traveler, which is starting to put on some trusses. And all of these plants have a decent amount of fruit sets on them, so I'm really pleased about that. This is the big boy. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Moving over, we've got the sunbeam variety, so those are putting on some trusses. There's also some with some fruit. So these look very, very happy, and the carrots underneath are looking beautiful. I got to thin them out. Good grief. They look a little crowded. Okay. Oh. Everything's kind of soupy right now because I just gave everything a good water. And these are the New Yorker variety. So again, we've got some trusses on there. Everything's growing beautifully. And then beefsteak. Now, I'm not seeing any trusses on the beefsteak. Let me just get in here and see if I can spot. Oh yeah, here we go. Oh, look at that. Gorgeous. That cracking sound was my knees, by the way. Yeah, old age is a beautiful thing. There's one thing I didn't point out last video that I showed you guys, and that's watermelon. I'm growing watermelon for the first time this year, and honestly, I've tried watermelon a bazillion times, if bazillion is a real word, and I've never had any luck. It has never grown beyond its like kind of seedling stage. It's always been very tiny and leggy and not happy. This is just going crazy. Look at this. I'm starting to get some flowers on it. So I'm super excited. I'm not seeing any fruit. I don't think. No, not yet. But that's okay. I'll be patient. I will be patient. Okay. Moving right along. Oh, soupy, soupy, soupy. And this is the Homestead variety of tomatoes. And yes, there's lots of fruit. Very excited about that. And then, oh, this is my sweetie, my lovely, lovely sweetie. And the trusses are beginning to form. Let me see, can we see that? Yeah, there we go. That's gonna be fabulous. And then the final row, of course, are the San Marzano. These are the paste tomatoes. And let's see, I spied, oh yeah, here they are. Oh yeah, gorgeous. So these have been really putting on a decent amount of fruit. I'm very, very pleased. And another thing that I didn't show you in my last video, down here, this is a melon, this is a cantaloupe. It's called the Minnesota Midget, and it's a very short growing season variety, and the fruits aren't terribly big. They're honestly about the size of a softball. And I've had fruit off of them once. I try growing them every year. I had fruit maybe 2 years ago, and it was just succulent. It was delicious. So that's why I keep trying, and I think I might get myself some fruit off of it. I think I might actually, let's see here. Okay. Those look promising. Yeah. So this whole bed is just doing gorgeous. Beautiful. Here's my corn bed, my sweet corn bed. Oh. Okay. Well, as you all know, I had mentioned in my previous video, the old adage is knee-high by the 4th of July. Well, it's about waist-high. So I'd say that I'm gonna be in really, really good shape this year, knock on wood. What I am going to do, probably in the next week or so, is erect some fencing around it, only because this has a tendency, if we have any really, really bad storms, we have a tendency for the corn to actually fall over, topple over. And that happened to me last year, where kind of this half was hit by the wind and it kind of just, everything kind of toppled over. So I'm going to try to fence everything in just so I can keep everything up. Okay. So that is doing really well. I'm really excited about that. I mean, I'm thinking if it's this tall already, that this is going to be, you know, they're going to be towering over me. Ooh, I can't wait. I cannot wait. Okay, so I'm going to move over now to the cucumber bed. Okay, here are my cucumbers. Oh, they're kind of packed in there, I'm not going to lie. I probably should have spaced them out a little bit, but I'm a greedy guts. I really wanted to squeeze as much in as possible. And I mean, they don't really seem to mind. They're flowering with great regularity, and I am already starting to get some fruit on here. So I'm pleased about this. And remember, this is the Market More 76 variety. And then over here on this side, we've got the National Pickling. And these are starting to, oh, look at that. Oh, I'm so excited. Can't wait to make pickles. It's gonna be so exciting. All right, now my poor broad beans. This is my first year growing them. And I had to, you know, tie them up a bit because they're flip-flopping all over the place, but I'm really not getting anything from them. I've not seen, well, actually, you know what? I think there is one little pod. Let me come over here. Yeah. That's the only one I'm getting right now. So, I mean, they're still flowering. I might get more, but I think this is going to be a situation where I'm just going to kind of dry the pod out and save the seed for next year. And then I can use the greens to, you know, I'll cut them up and put them in the compost pile. They'll be a really good source of nitrogen. Before that, I mean, in front of that, I should say, we've got the green cabbage. And it's put on a little bit of growth. It's not terribly excited to be here in this bed. I think it might be too sunny. And then everything that I've direct sown, so the purple pak choi and the green pak choi, they're not happy here. They're not. And I should know better, you know, with greens, typically, I think they would do better probably in a shaded area. But then I look at these butter crunch, you know, this Bib lettuce here, and I've already, as you can see, harvested a couple of heads. I actually brought those heads over to my parents' house. They're beautiful. They're very happy here. So I don't know. I think some of my plants are just being moody Trudies this year. The Misuna that I planted is starting to take off. Some of them are taking off more than others because, as you can see, yes, it's bolting. So I'm just gonna I'm gonna harvest a little bit of it as a cut and come again. And if it just stays kind of tiddly like this, I'm gonna have the lot out and I'll direct sow some arugula or something. I have a little mint plant here, which, by the way, looks very, very happy. Okay. Got to give this a bit of a weed and a feed. And then behind the broad beans, and I didn't show you these either before, but this is a muskmelon. And they were a little at first, but it seems like they're starting to put on a little weight now. So I don't know, I'll just keep my eye on them. So that is the cucumber bed. We're gonna move over now to the bean, eggplant, aubergine, onion, we're gonna move on to the next bed. Okay, so my pole beans are doing beautifully. They have reached the top. They're gorgeous. They're very, very happy here. They always have been happy here, which is why I just keep putting them in here. But we do have some flowers that are just beginning to show themselves. Okay, let's see if I can focus that up a little bit more for you. There we go. Cute little flower. Hopefully that's going to produce. I mean, there's all sorts of little, you know, these little flower pods that are beginning to, these little buds that are beginning to poke themselves out all along the vine. So I'm hoping for a really, really good crop. All right, so we're gonna come around the edge here, and then the next row we have are my aubergines or my eggplant, and they look very, very happy. I'm pleased. I don't have any flowers yet, but just in the past week, they've put on some beautiful growth. So very pleased about that. Now, as for the rest of this bed, well, not as happy as I thought it would be at this point, but the season's still early. I'm still not giving up hope. I did stick in here a row of watermelon that I grew from seed, and this variety is called Sugar Baby. And I really hope that it comes to something, because I think the rest of the bed is, well, especially my row of Swiss chard and my row of beets right now, they're just not really pleased right now with this location. So, you know, if something happens where, you know, they come to nothing, hopefully the watermelon will kind of fill in the gaps. And then here's my row of collard greens, and you know, the seedlings that I direct sowed are still really, whoops, sorry about that, really, really small. But I had some transplants that I grew in pots. I had about 5 of them, so I kind of stuck them in between. So they look happy. And if I don't get anything from the tiny little seedlings, if they decide that they're just gonna whimper out, then at least I've got these bigger plants to rely on. My onions, I have to say the Red Baron variety, they look like they're pretty much done. They don't look happy at all. They didn't get terribly big. I'm just gonna leave them in. I don't really care at this point. But I feel like a lot of the green has kind of, you know, left the leaves, and the leaves have kind of toppled over, and I don't know, maybe they'll grow on still. I'm not sure. Like I said, I've never had good luck with onions. And, well, it seems the red variety seems to be the status quo for this year. However, my yellow variety, this is the Stuttgart, they're starting to bulb up beautifully. So, maybe I'll get some yellow onions this year. Fingers crossed. Okay, now we're moving on to my most dreaded bed. I think you all know what that is. Okay, so here's the squash bed. So, if you recall, this half of the bed was the green courgettes, or the Black Beauty zucchini. And these seem to have, I don't know, I did give them a feed, I did give them a top dress, and they seem to be doing okay. Over here in the back is this delicata, and this is just going nuts. Gorgeous. I wish all of my squash looked like this. I don't have any fruit setting on it yet, but you know, if this is going to be kind of the harbinger of things to come for this, I'm just gonna move this over. There we go. I'm hoping for a decent crop, but you know, I've got a few flowers on the zucchini, and well, we'll just see. I'm kind of bummed about this. Oh goodness. And here is my yellow crookneck. they look the same. They look the same from when I planted them in late May. I fed them, I've top dressed them, I water them thoroughly. So I don't know. I do have a couple of seedlings that I might stick in the ground, see if they come to anything, but if not, I don't know, I might just plant beans here or something, just have this lot out and, you know, cut my losses and then grow something else. So, depressing. I'm unfortunately not going to be in that camp this summer. It's going to be like, oh my gosh, what can I do with all this squash? I've got so much. I think as everybody else out there in the gardening world will be posting their pictures, I'm going to be salivating from the other end. Oh boy. So what's left of my peas, I'm starting to get some pods here. Okay. Not a huge number, but you know, enough for maybe just for me. Okay, and I've got some over here as well. But what I did do is I interplanted some of this Malabar spinach that I was telling you guys about. This is the vining spinach, the tropical vining spinach that is heat tolerant, and it's going to go all the way up, hopefully, fingers crossed, all the way up the trellis, and I can harvest it and eat it and cook it like I would normal spinach. They look very, very happy here, so at least something's happy in this bed, right? Here's another delicata that's looking fab. So yes, the state of my squash bed, in constant flux, always. So sad. Sorry, I'm being attacked by mosquitoes. All right, I'm just gonna slowly bring you over here. And this is my tomato / pepper bed. And again, my tomatoes look gorgeous. Lots of fruit setting on it. And remember, on either side, we've got the Arkansas Traveler, and those are the indeterminate varieties. And then in between, we've got the Mountain Pride, and that's a bush, a determinate variety. And those are setting some beautiful fruit, I have to say. Love it. And these are my Better Bell peppers. I don't have any fruit set on them yet. I don't have any flowers on them yet, actually. So, what are they waiting for? They need to get the lead out. I do have another one of those Minnesota midget cantaloupe plants here, and it looks very happy. So who knows, I might get a bumper crop of melon. Who'd ever think? Who ever think? And then over here are my Thai dragon chilies. And I do have, look at that. Gorgeous. It's just one. Oh, wait a minute, no, there's another one here. Oh dear, it looks like a snail. Look at that. Huh. So I'm gonna get some fruit off of these. I do see some flowers forming, so that's good. Yes, I will use them fresh or I will dry them. Oh, here's some more. See, you really just gotta get your face smushed up against these plants. Forming over here. Gorgeous. Okay, we've got, let's see, 3 more things to look at. Okay, we'll come back. I just wanted to show you this obelisk, the one that I made out of old branches. And I told you that I do grow Grandpa Ott morning glories up them, and they are really going for it. In fact, they have already reached the top, pretty much. You know, okay, so I have to have a little bit of a moment here. Did you guys hear that bug? I'm gonna wait again. I think that's the cicadas. Apparently this is gonna be a big year for cicadas. They are like on a 17-year like cycle, and we're supposed to have a ton of them this year. But anyways, I always know that summer is beginning to really take hold because the bird song in the morning is replaced by bug song, essentially. So instead of hearing, you know, all the gorgeous songbirds in the morning, the robins and the wrens and the blackbirds and things like that, I hear bugs. And not to be all, you know, Debbie Downer or anything, but, you know, that usually signifies, okay, we're beginning our descent towards autumn, which makes me sad. It's the beginning of July. I shouldn't be so doom and gloom. I apologize, but you know, this is really the first time that I've heard the bugs. So anyways, I digress. So yes, my morning glories, aren't they beautiful? Oh my goodness. I can't wait for it to come to flower. Okay, moving on. This is my bean bed with a little bit of squash thrown in there and a little bit of this and a little bit of that. I did plant some more Malabar spinach on this trellis as well. Hopefully they will fill it up because my peas did not. However, my beans, let's go down here. Oh yeah, look at those. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited. So they're really beginning to set fruit, which means I need to get my rear end in gear and start planting some more if I want to succession crop these beans. So remember, this is the bush variety that I'm growing. It's called Blue Lake, same as the runner beans that I'm growing up the poles. They're just the bush variety. My Burgess buttercup squash is just loving life over here. They're just winding their way up my old box springs. Look at those flowers, gorgeous. I hope some of them will, you know, begin to start to produce some fruit, and that would be lovely. And then I've got my acorn squash here that's put on a little bit of growth. Things just really slow over here. I'm not sure why. Okay, so I'm just gonna loop you around here. I did some extra plantings in here this week just to get them out of their trays and into the ground. I did put another rosemary in here. Okay, and then I put some oregano. And then I grew some white sage. So this is the sage that you would dry for smudging. So I grew it from seed, and it's really beginning to take hold. I'm very happy. I hope I can get a decent, at least bundle a little bit of it so that I can use it for smudging or for whatever. And then over here, here's some thyme with a volunteer petunia. I don't really know how that happened, but whatever. I love these the deep purple petunias, just smell incredible. And then I had 2 more little chamomile seedlings, and I put those there right next to the big mamacita that I went and harvested, because it seems like this area does well for that. My spaghetti squash is almost to the very end of this bed, so I'll have to start looping it around. So looking very happy. Okay, and this is the butternut squash in the front, and those have put on a lot of growth since the last time we've seen each other. And in front of that is the Table King squash, and that has some flowers on it, so hip hip hooray. And then along the side here is the patty pan, okay, squash, the green and the yellow, and look at this gorgeousness. Where are you? Where are you? Oh, there you are. It's being attacked by this borage here. Hold on a minute. Out of the way. There we go. Oh, yes. So, super excited. Oh, I just rubbed up against this rosemary. It smells amazing. Okay. The borage and the nasturtium here on this border is going absolutely nuts, and I love it, and the bees love it. So happy about that, happy about that. So yes, a couple more things I want to show you, and it's over here. This is the new raised bed, and you can see how much growth that has actually happened. I'm very excited. So that my Blue Lake runner beans have popped up, and it's funny, I sowed 2 seeds at each station, and only one of those 2 seeds for each pole has popped up, except for the one in the back. I'm gonna try to re-sow that again. That didn't pop up, so. The sage is looking big and beautiful and blousy. Very happy about that. And then these little chamomiles, look, I already got a flower. Fabulous. All right, my lavender looks happy. The parsley is the parsley, whatever. I mean, it's still looking a little light. It's not that kind of darkish green that I usually see, but you know, they were desperate to get into the ground, and I'm just gonna give them a little while for them to kind of bounce back. Okay. All right. A couple more things I've got over here. These are my potatoes. Now I've already topped them all off, so now they're in their final growing phase. They haven't set any flower yet, but they're starting to get really big and gorgeous. Cannot wait to do a harvest video of that. Cannot wait. So we're gonna make our way over here to my little shady sitting area. And I just wanted to give you an update on the seedlings that I planted. Look at that. They've all popped up. Come over here. Look at this. Okay. So the rocket is a little slow to catch on, but this is the kale, the beetroot, and what is this? Oh, this is the rutabaga. Look at my cucumbers. That like happened overnight. I love it. Okay, then we have purple sprouting broccoli right here, and the Swiss chard. That's the Lucillus variety that I grew. Let me show you my tomatoes. Look at this. They are ready to go in. They are ready to go in. So I got to get those bags ready to go. I smell another video. Okay, so over here we've got, this is the Rouge de Vert lettuce, and I only have, out of all those seeds, I only got 2. What the heck? Oh well, 2's better than nothing, and we might have some late bloomers popping up there. And then this is the Vivienne. I got 1. Yeah. And then this is the tree lettuce. Oh yeah. So I got a lot of those. That'll be interesting. And then my cabbage, the Danish ball head. And then right behind it, the Excalibur. So those look happy. And then this is the all year round lettuce. I got a lot of that, very happy. The Butter Crunch, which I absolutely adore. And then the last one we have here is the, oh, so this is just plain old rocket. The other one was called Wild Arugula. Yeah. I did put in my St. John's wort, and they seem really, really happy here. So fingers crossed, they will be pleased. So there's one more thing I wanted to show you. It's past the cucumber bed. But this was something that I was growing on the patio, and then it started getting really shaded out by my elderberry tree, so I pulled it out and brought it out here. And this is sweet peas. I'm growing sweet peas, and this is the Old Spice variety. So they're a little behind because they became so shaded, but I feel like I put these out a couple of days ago. I feel like they're going to be really taking off pretty soon. So, oh dear. Looks like we've got some lamb's quarters here, or as my British friends would call it, the fat hen. Yeah. Completely edible, guys, by the way. I'm sure you all know that. Holy schmoly, look at that. Eee. Good grief. Yeah. So anyways, yeah. So those are all the plants. Did I miss anything? Oh, wait a minute, there's one more thing I gotta show you. Okay, so everything's very much been vegetables and herbs, But I do grow fruit here, guys, and it's something that I've never really talked about until now. I have 2 apple trees. I've got this one, and I've got that one, okay? This is a, what is that? That's a Cortland apple. That's a good all-around apple for eating, but I love Cortland apples for pie baking. Amazing baking apple. That tree I planted last year, so I'm not expecting to get anything off of it, maybe for a couple of years. This one, I planted 6 years ago, and this is a Honeycrisp apple. And I don't know if you've ever eaten a Honeycrisp apple before, but oh my goodness, they are delicious. Sweet with just a little bit of tartness and just a really nice firm flesh. Just a great, delicious eating apple. I could not get this thing to flower. Could not. But then I hopped on to my little YouTube and I I did a little research on pruning, And so this winter I came out and pruned the bejiggers out of it. And look what I have. This is the first fruit I've ever had on this tree. Oh my goodness, look at that. I'm so excited. Granted, it wasn't a great deal, a great amount of fruit, but hey, I'll take what I can get. This is telling me now that, this is going to begin to crop for me every year. So I'm really pleased. I cannot wait to actually harvest my own apples. I've never done that here before. Okay, a couple more things. We're gonna move you slowly. This is a bed that I've never shown you before. And I just built this bed this year. Okay, and it's just a Pottager bed. It's a Pottager, and it's got filled with all sorts of stuff. So there's veg in here, there's flowers. I got myself some David Austin roses this year. So there's Golden Jubilee, there is Gentle Hermione, and then there's Munstead Wood. The Gentle Hermione, oh, and look at these cosmos. They're gorgeous. The Gentle Hermione is the one that's going to be flowering first, so I'm really excited about that. But I didn't bring you over for roses. I brought you over for my currants. So I have 3 currant bushes, and this is Black Consort, okay, amidst the bachelor buttons here, the cornflowers? Anyways, I call them bachelor buttons. So these are about ready. So I really need to get picking. So I've got these, and then I have a couple more bushes on the opposite side that you can see. Those are also filled with fruit. So I need to get harvesting those. And then I also have blueberries over here. Okay. Yay. They're starting to ripen up. And I believe this variety is called Jersey. So, yeah, there is fruit here. I would like to expand my fruit repertoire. I just walked through a really big, gross spider web. Ugh. Anyways, I did have, along the back of the fence here, some raspberry plants, and there's only one that actually has survived. And it does have some fruit on it. And this variety is called Killarney. And why did I get it? Because I love the movie Christmas in Killarney with Bing Crosby. That's the only reason. Probably not a good reason to buy a fruit plant. It could have tasted horrible, but I didn't care because it made reference to Bing Crosby. Anyways, I digress. So there we have it. The fruit I'm growing. Super. Well, you know what I'm going to say now. There we have it! There we have it. Yes. My first official garden tour for the month of July. The good, the bad, and the ugly. So, not one of those people, I'm not going to be one of those people. I'm not saying that there are any of those people, but I just think to myself, I'm going to show you everything. What's working for me, what's not working for me. And, this is not the type of platform where I'm just the one who's, the teacher and, this is how you have to do it. I am definitely a flawed gardener in certain areas. And the joy of having a channel like this is to have, my wonderful subscribers, if you guys have any tips or any tricks or anything you'd like to share with me, the lovely comment box below is the place to post it. I would really appreciate if you have any suggestions about red baron onions or, I don't know, yellow crookneck squash, any of those things. I would love to hear from you. There are things that still need to be done, obviously, and that's what I love about filming the garden tour, is that not only I get to show you what I'm doing, my progress, but then I have to, I'm making the mental list. Oh, my tomatoes have to be tied up again, and the suckers have to be pinched out, and my cucumbers look like they're brawling right now, so those have to be tied up. So, that is the beauty of the garden tour. Any tips and tricks you'd like to share with me, please do. If you are new to this channel, welcome. We're always happy to have new subscribers. Take a look at my other videos. Even the first one, the introduction, where it's very awkward and I keep saying So yeah, subscribe, leave a comment, press the notification bell, thumbs up, all the things that I'm always trying to deliver like a used car salesman at the end of every video. Please, please. Just kidding. So that's it for me. There's my other trade phrase. That's it for me. Hope you guys are well. And I will be back soon for another informative, hopefully, video where I will be talking about, I haven't the vaguest idea. I'm sure it will be informative nonetheless. So, thank you so much for watching, guys. I will see you next time here. My name is Jim, and this is the Lake Effect Garden.